Open Google Sheets and sign into your Google account. That's your first step. Open the specific spreadsheet you want to use, the one that holds the contact data you're planning to sync over to ActiveCampaign. It could be a list of names, email addresses, phone numbers, maybe a purchase date or a lead score. Just make sure that spreadsheet is accessible and that your first row contains clear, consistent column headers. Those headers are going to do a lot of the heavy lifting later when you map fields. Once that's open and ready, keep the tab open in your browser because you'll need to refer back to it. Now, open ActiveCampaign in a new tab or window and sign into your account. If you don't already have an automation platform like Make or Zapier ready, go ahead and open that too. Either Make or Zapier will work for this connection. The steps I'm walking through apply to both, so don't worry if you're using one versus the other. The idea here is that the automation platform acts as the bridge. Google Sheets doesn't talk to ActiveCampaign directly on its own, so you need that middleman to watch for new rows or changes in your sheet, and then send that data over to ActiveCampaign automatically. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. In your automation platform, create a new automation. Give it a clear name like Google Sheets to ActiveCampaign Sync, so you can spot it easily later. Now add Google Sheets as the trigger app. The trigger is the event that starts everything. You typically choose something like New Row or Updated Row, depending on what you want. If you just want to add new contacts as they appear in your sheet, pick New Row. If you also want to update existing contacts when you edit a row, pick Updated Row or New or Updated Row. That's a common choice if your sheet gets maintained regularly. Next, you'll need to authorize your Google account. Click the authorization button and select the same Google account that owns the spreadsheet you opened earlier. Grant the permission the automation platform asks for. Usually it's access to view and edit your sheets. Don't worry, this is standard and secure. Once authorized, you'll select the specific spreadsheet and the specific worksheet tab from a drop-down menu. Make sure you pick the right tab if you have multiple sheets in one file. Now you set up the trigger. Depending on the platform, you might also need to define which column acts as a unique identifier, like email address, so the system knows when a row is truly new versus an update. That's a smart step to take here. If you skip it, you could accidentally create duplicate contacts in ActiveCampaign every time your automation runs. So choose the column that always has unique data, such as an email column. Once that trigger is configured, it's time to add the Action app. Add ActiveCampaign as the Action app. Click to connect your ActiveCampaign account. You'll need your API URL and your API key, which you can find inside your ActiveCampaign account under Settings, then Developer. Copy those values and paste them into the authorization fields in your automation platform. This links the two services securely. After the connection succeeds, select an action such as Create Contact or Update Contact. Create or Update Contact is usually the best choice because it handles both new signups and changes to existing contacts. If you only need to add new people, Create Contact works fine, but if your spreadsheet might be edited later, the combined option saves you headaches. Now mapping. This is the crucial part. You tell the automation platform which spreadsheet column matches which ActiveCampaign contact field. For example, you map the column labeled Email to the ActiveCampaign field for email. You map first name to the first name field, last name to last name, and so on. Many automation platforms will auto-detect the column headers from your sheet and suggest matches, but always double-check. A common mistake is mapping a column to the wrong field type, like putting a phone number into a text field meant for a custom tag. That won't break anything, but the data ends up in the wrong place, and you'll wonder why your ActiveCampaign lists look messy. If you have custom fields in ActiveCampaign such as lead source or purchase date, you'll see those listed as options. Map your corresponding spreadsheet columns to them. Don't skip any important fields. If you have a column that tracks the date someone subscribed, make sure you map that to a date field in ActiveCampaign, not a plain text field. That way you can sort and filter contacts by date later. Once everything is mapped, test the automation. Most platforms have a test button that will run the trigger once, pulling a sample row from your sheet and sending it to ActiveCampaign as a test. Go ahead and click that. It should create or update a contact in your ActiveCampaign account. You can then open that contact in ActiveCampaign to verify all the fields came through correctly. Name, email, custom data, everything. If something is missing or wrong, go back and check your mapping. Sometimes you might have accidentally omitted a column or mapped it to the wrong field. Fix that, then test again. Once the test passes and you see clean data in ActiveCampaign, you're ready to go live. Turn on the automation. It will now run automatically. Every time a new row is added to your sheet or an existing row changes, the automation will pick it up and sync it to ActiveCampaign without you lifting a finger. And that's it. You have successfully connected Google Sheets to ActiveCampaign. What used to take manual exporting and importing with the risk of typos or missed entries is now fully automatic. Your contact data stays up to date in real time. Your email lists are cleaner, and you can focus on more important things, like crafting great campaigns. One helpful next step is to add a second action in the same automation, such as adding a tag to new contacts when they're created, so you can track where they came from. You can also set up a filter to only sync rows where the status column says active, ignoring rows marked do not contact. That gives you even more control. If you found this walkthrough useful, consider saving this video or bookmarking it so you can come back to the steps anytime you need to set up this integration again. Thanks for watching and happy automating.